Good day to you. My name is Chelsey and I am a breast cancer survivor. I created this channel about a year ago because I found when I was going through breast cancer treatment, I wanted to hear from the professionals, but when I was making decisions, I really also wanted to hear from survivors and people who have gone through the treatment before me to get kind of that more personal, real experience, information, insight from someone who had actually been through it themselves. So I created this channel because I want to be that person for you in case you don't have a personal contact that you can talk to. So today I'm going to talk about my experience with my surgery. One of the big questions I had when I was trying to decide what surgery to get was how it was going to affect my ability to interact and be active in daily life. Physical activity, sports, moving my body is something that I enjoy greatly, is something that I do every single day, and it really enhances my quality of life. So I wanted to make sure to choose a surgery that was going to allow me to continue that moving forward from this journey and onto life as a survivor. I have been creating a whole section on preparing for surgery. So if you want more information on different things that I work through to come to the decision that I made, I would recommend checking out that link. I'll put it right above here for you, and I'll actually put it at the end of the video as well. As for surgery decisions, I had a really tough time with it because aside from activity, which was important to me, there were a whole lot of other factors coming to this one big decision. And for me, it was between a lumpectomy or a mastectomy. And after a lot of discussions with the professionals, some insights from some survivor friends that I had, I did decide to go with a mastectomy surgery. Now, obviously, this is the more invasive surgery, so it did kind of leave me a lot more vulnerable to taking away activity and some of the things that I enjoyed doing. So that was a big concern. So let's fast forward to after my surgery. So coming right out of surgery, to be honest with you, I did not have very good use of my upper body on my mastectomy side. Putting on a shirt was challenging because lifting up my arm was not something that I could do. I think I could maybe lift it up to 45 degrees, but even up to shoulder height was not very easy to do. And lifting weight with that arm was not okay. Sometimes I needed help getting out of bed. So we really did kind of start, not fully back at the beginning, but it was pretty close to needing to fully, in my experience, fully rehab the use of that arm again and those pec muscles again. So I was provided a number of stretches from the physiotherapy team at the hospital. And since getting my range of motion, my mobility, and being active was so important to me, I made sure to do those, and I would highly recommend that. So fast forward a year and a few months, I had to go in for another surgery. So at this point, I was actually feeling pretty good. I had been able to increase my muscle. I had been able to, lift up my arm above my head and felt relatively comfortable at the 1.5-year mark. At that time, I felt comfortable in a controlled situation. So lifting weights, that I had an awareness of what weight I was lifting, I felt comfortable with. Doing certain sports or activities, like I like to surf behind a boat, so I could use my other hand to pull me up and just kind of use my mastectomy side as a support. But things like lifting furniture or just random heavy objects where I didn't know how much weight I was lifting, it might put my body out of sorts. I did not feel comfortable doing that. And to be honest, I still don't. I still kind of baby my mastectomy side and choose to do things that I feel comfortable with, because it does feel a little bit different, though I have built it back a lot. So I had a second surgery. And at that point, I was feeling excited for the surgery because it was going to be my last step, but also a little apprehensive because, look at Lil's ear, because I knew how much of a challenge it was to rehab myself back to the point that I was. And I didn't want to go all the way back to the beginning, but I was assured that the second surgery, the reconstruction surgery, was going to be less invasive and the recovery time would be less. And I have to tell you, in my experience, that was 100% true. I would say if my first mastectomy surgery was, we'll say, 100% challenging, that's just as a reference point, that the second surgery was more like 20%. So it was a lot better for me. It wasn't as painful when I came out. I had pretty good range of motion. I didn't have to rest as long after, and it was just a way better starting point to then kind of start to rehab myself again. So I'm now about a year and a half past that surgery, and I'm happy to tell you that I have been able to return to, I would say, most of the activities that I was able to do pre-mastectomy surgery. I can do push-ups, though I will tell you, most of the time I choose to do them on my knees because it's just that, it's that comfort factor. I feel like I'm more in control of my form when I do them on my knees. Just the other day I did 15, and it's not like a benchmark or a challenge that I'm really working towards. I do them maybe once a week, but that's exciting for me. I'm able to go behind the boat and use a ski rope with both hands comfortably now, not just favoring my non-surgery side. I am able to lift weights, doing chest exercises, doing over the head shoulder exercises, and it's pretty much, I think I'm just a little bit lighter on the weights than I was prior to my surgery. So getting there, I am able to surf and swim. So lay on my chest and use my arms in that motion. And something that was really exciting that I was really proud of myself that I could do before surgery, which was chin-ups and pull-ups like this. I could do them fairly well before surgery, and I've been able to do them after surgery as well, which has been so exciting, albeit I'm not able to do as many as I could before. But similar to the push-ups, it's not something that I'm continually challenging myself to grow in. It's more just like, can I still do it? Yes, I can do it. Okay, that's good. And maybe try it again a few months later. So, but once again, I do always feel this kind of pull in, and I think that was because of my surgery. So I'm always needing to stretch out my muscles and make sure that I'm opening my pecs more. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention that I can do is rock climbing, which was challenging for me at first because it's one of those activities where you really need to be able to stretch up, and then you use those muscles to pull you. Well, I mean, you're supposed to use your feet as well, but so I wasn't sure if I would be able to do that, but there's another activity that I do feel comfortable doing now, which I'm very excited about. So overall, I would say that comparing myself now, I am now 3 years after my first surgery. I would say that I am pretty much at a level playing field with what I could do then and what I could do now. As I mentioned, there are some activities where I feel like I want to be in more of a controlled situation just because I am a little protective over injuring my body. But in those controlled situations, I do feel like I have the same ability to use my body and feel good and be active and just have that quality of life that I was worried that I wouldn't have, but I do. So I hope this helps kind of give you some reassurance that with some work, you can get back to where you want to be. And of course, everybody's experience is going to be different. So I don't want to promise anything that your experience is going to be exactly like mine. But I do want to say that it is a possibility. And if it's something important to you, just keep on working at it. So thank you for joining me and Lil today. I really hope that this was helpful for you. If there's another topic that you'd like me to talk about, feel free to put it in the comments below. I'm always looking for, new ideas or something that's really going to affect you. So make sure to subscribe to come along for more insights and to see kind of where I'm at in my personal journey now. I hope that you have the most wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Take care, friends.